Hey, 9 to 5
Hey,
boys.
what up? It's your boys. Um, Gosh, what's been going on this week, man? In the news, there's been the whole Tennessee thing, which has been a little weird.
Oh, what, like the whole, like, two of their seat members getting, like, fired because they're black? Yeah, that was weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they're saying, well, they got fired for starting an insurrection. They just happened to be no. So it's like it's a whole thing. So if you're not caught up to the speed, caught up to speed viewer, not to the speed, caught up to speed viewers. What happened this week in Tennessee? It's been the last week and a half ish, right? So like there was the whole shooting thing, which was like that was Nashville shooting. That was bad. It was like three students, three adults injured.
Yeah, very bad stuff. Not okay at all. But here we
Yeah,
are
no,
as a
no
country.
way, no. And yeah, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And um, so yeah, and then so what happened was there were some lawmakers, these Democratic lawmakers in that Senate, who were joining peaceful protesters who were protesting outside the chambers for gun regulation and gun reform and stuff. And so 99 of the representatives that are in that Senate are Republican, and then there's three Democrats. One of which is an older white woman, two of which are black, two young black men. So of course they got kicked out, but she didn't. So it just happens to be coincidental because they were joining the protesters, and so then the Republicans were claiming that they were starting an insurrection, which is not true. But anyhow, that's just the state of things. It's not. It wouldn't be good if it were switched around. It's not good now. We want to make it clear we're not hating on Republicans in general, but they have been making some pretty bad optics in recent. I will say. I will argue.
Yeah.
Pretty bad optics.
It would be fascinating to see if Tennessee voted fucking Democrat over all this because that'd be fucking hilarious. Like, they're probably just sitting there like, oh man, if we fire these guys, it'll be all okay. The bad PR and everything will be fine. It'll be all blow over. No, it's kind of more like as a cock up cascade, really. You know?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
just to try and fix the yeah, it's not it sucks. It sucks. It's weird right now. It's very weird and I don't know what can be done, but I mean,
Yeah, as much as I don't want to like shit on Republicans, it's like it's hard not to because like it's like your party is doing all the bad things. Like,
I
not
love
that
to
ours
see
is better. I mean, it's just unfortunate, man. It's like,
some bad optics, bro. It's
yeah,
bad. Um Democrats aren't much better, but hey, at least we can agree that like shit is shady. And then there was a whole thing like people were like, "Oh, it's bad that like Trump got indicted because like now all these former presidents could be sued." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good thing. If it were like if they did a crime, they should be punished for it. That's the whole point of the system, man. So like, I'm down for like people suing Obama for like his war crimes in Syria. Like that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like he should be criminalized,
oh.
penalized.
I mean, it is funny how we say that because I literally just watched 13 Hours Secret Soldiers in Benghazi, and there's a scene where they bluff these terrorist guys by saying, "Oh, we got a drone overhead, and they know what you look like, so they're about to fuck your shit up if you fuck with us." Without missing a beat, I'm just like, "Oh yeah, we had drones around this time. Thank God for Obama and his fucking drone strikes.
Yeah, for real.
He could
Love
bomb a
that.
Middle Eastern school from a cell phone."
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Um, what's the difference uh, um, between a church and a school in the Middle East?
I don't know what's the difference.
I don't know, man. I should fly the drones.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
But yeah, no. So that's also been a big thing. There's been a lot of. I kind of like. I'm with Tucker Carlson in this one. I'm kind of over Trump. I want him to be out of the picture. And what I'm referring to, ladies and gentlemen, is there were leaked texts of Fox News bigwigs, like fucking Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity. They were all texting about how they hated Trump. You know what I mean? They can't wait for it to be over. And so while also spreading lies and hate about him, lies and hateful messages for his base. It's a yeah, it's horrible. Anyway, so I can't wait for him to be out of the news cycle. Is my point because it's so exhausting having to hear because that was the thing about his presidency. Like there was a lot of content, but a lot of it was just shit content. A lot of it was just tiresome.
Yeah,
There were like 6 stories a day about the guy. It's like I don't need to know. I barely know what's going on with Joe Biden. Maybe I should, but like I don't. You know what I mean? It's kind of nice. It's a nice breather. You know, like I don't have to know when the president's tweeting from the shitter. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to like worry about it.
exactly. Like if anything, I'm pretty sure the only thing Biden's concerned about is like, did he take his like 80 milligrams of Adderall just to form a sentence today?
Yeah, for real. That's all. He's just gotta worry about his medicine. You know.
Exactly.
But I don't know, man.
He needs those fucking like stem cells, like straight from the fucking newborn, right into his veins, bro. That's what he needs.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Juice that old man up. Come on, give him the
Give him
juice.
some super soldier serum so he can run a country properly. Yeah, no, it's chaotic, man. Shit's weird. Shit's real weird right now, dude.
I know. No, it's gonna be funny too with Ron DeSantis being eyed for the Republican presidential candidacy when Donald Trump, you know for a fact, is gonna try and undress this man publicly, and it is fucking hilarious. And he's already started. He's got a few nicknames for good old Ron DeSantis, fucking Meatball Ron, fucking Swamp Ron.
Swamp. Oh my god.
Swampy
This man,
Ron,
okay.
I think, yeah.
Again, I think this guy has some great content for sure. He was the king of content. It was so much.
Yeah.
So really
But
piss poor.
that's the
but
problem
so
though. He's been doing
fantastic.
so many like rallies though that he's running out of steam, bro. He's almost halfway out the door. Like he's almost calling it quits himself, bro.
Jesus, man. I mean, just. Yeah, I mean, the man is like, what, in his 70s?
Yeah, and he got COVID. You got to remember that. This is post-COVID Trump, okay? Like,
That's true. Yeah, post COVID Trump. Yeah, I laughed so hard. I was like, imagine if he dies of COVID. That's gonna be so fucking like. It's not funny for anyone to die or any president to die, but it'd be funny as fuck if the president who mishandled the COVID-19 pandemic died of COVID-19 during the pandemic. That would have been fucking hilarious.
there has to be an
Like
alternate
half his,
timeline in which that. What's that?
didn't like half his staff catch it too, or like more than half.
Yeah, but that was because like he was having like all these big gatherings together and whatnot. I don't know if it was him directly that was infecting people, or if it was someone else in their tight little group that got it and never told anyone or disclosed it at all.
Uh,
So, but no, there has to be an alternate timeline where like Trump actually did die of COVID-19, and like that would certainly fuck up a lot of people's like mindsets throughout the country. I mean,
no, absolutely.
yeah,
It's insane. It would have been funny though if he. I mean, again, not wishing death on anybody, but it's. I can't. Sometimes I forget about how crazy those years were. I try to forget about them just because they're so awful.
no, I'm not gonna forget about those because they're gonna end up in a history textbook at some point. I swear to God, that is if we're still teaching like normal curriculums at schools or whatever some conservative types are trying to do in school now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So uh yeah, it sucks, man. Yeah. We're just not gonna get rid of him, and he's poisoned like half a party, which is just insane. That's like really just the grip he has.
Yeah, which is
What is it, three? It's almost the next presidential election, and like we're still talking about this schmuck. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Can we get over it already?
yeah, it's depressing because I was definitely on board for a party that hates the government and is like fine with helping out its like neighbor and whatnot. But like the fact that they lost that value so much completely, like it's insane to me.
Yeah, no, it's completely backwards. He's just a pillar of chaos. I don't know, man. It's like again, he's funny sometimes, but it's like he's the kind of person, right? Like you have in a friends group, you keep him around because he just says stupid shit and he's funny, but then it turns out like he's like a bad person, and like you certainly wouldn't want him leading the group. So like he's just one of those schmucks, and you just have to stay away from those guys because those guys don't fucking change, man. They don't fucking change.
It's 100%, 100%.
It's concerning, man. It's really just unhealthy. I can't imagine. And then now he's facing like and I'm like kind of worried about the state of things because like if like him losing an election got people to storm the Capitol, just imagine what like going to jail is gonna do. You know what I mean? Like fuck, bro. It's gonna be kind of nuts, dude. I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, I'm not too worried because like he quite literally put out a truth post where it's like he wants to defund the police, and that's kind of one of the last stances that his party has. It's like we don't want to do that. We want to give the police departments all the money to actually make sure like things don't go wrong in our society and whatnot. And obviously he said that because he wants to defund the FBI, the Department of Justice, because they're the ones that are after his ass. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Like they're probably just gonna drop him like a sack of potatoes, and like everything's just gonna be fine. It's only like people in his inner circle that you should be worried about.
Well, and also the batshit ones who are like just really attached to him at the hip. Like he could say no, like he literally could say no wrong, and there's motherfucker. It's like a cult, dude. It's like terrible. It's really awful.
I mean, yeah, but it's like the same thing with the Manson family, though. Like, after they got convicted and everything, they kind of, for the most part, just disbanded the rest of the group that was involved. And even if they were to go out and commit crimes, like, based on the teachings of their leader, they still got very much in trouble for it. I mean, shit.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, one hopes, but like shit's kind of crazy right now. Shit's unhinged, and like it's funny too because I think about it. Like Tennessee's kind of a hot spot right now, and I'm going there in a month. I'm gonna be down there for like a festival, and like it's gonna be cool. I hope I'm gonna check out some museums and shit. But I'm gonna be very cool, just very like relaxed. Let people do their thing. Let them say what they want. You know what I mean? Like just. It's gonna be very. I'm just gonna be very cool and cordial, man. I'm just gonna be very like, and I'm not gonna do anything that's illegal out there. Like I'll be chilling. I won't be driving or anything. And I promised this with my friend. Right, we're going together, and like him and I haven't really. He went for like a day. It's a whole thing. He went for like a day to go to see the Rolling Stones. He flew out to Nashville, landed that day, saw the concert, flew out the next day.
Damn.
Just to see one single show, which is that's dedication. But anyway, I mean it's the Rolling Stones, so like
I mean, since we're also talking about people with like steam left inside of them, how much steam do you think Mick Jagger has left in his lifetime? Come on, be real here.
He's like 74, isn't he? Something like that.
Yeah, and then Keith Richards. God forbid Keith Richards. Oh God.
Well, no, Keith Richards is invincible, dude. He's like still chain smoking, and that man is like almost 80. He's not gonna die anytime soon, man. He'll be fine.
No, he'll probably live to see like 99 years old. I swear to God, right now.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
He's built different, dude. I swear.
Yeah.
He's built different. But yeah, no. So anyway, so like Nashville is kind of like a hot spot right now, and like we're gonna be like in Memphis and then Nashville for like a day. It's gonna be interesting, man. Tennessee's gonna be a little heat, but it'll be cool. I'm hoping it'll be chill. Him and I had never been before, really. So like, my point was we're gonna remain sober and like. Look out for each other and stuff. That'll be good. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a hot spot right now. The whole country is kind of a hot spot, man. I don't know. It's like it's all weird these days. I'm trying to just go about my business, provide the mental health care I can. Shit's just weird, dude. But anyway, man.
Yeah. On that, cheerful note, I went and saw Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it, man. You saw it last week. That's right. So let's talk about it.
Or Honor Among Thieves, whatever the little end title is. But anyways, I saw the new D&D.
Honor Among Thieves, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the new D&D movie. It was fantastic.
It was everything you wanted it to be. It was just what it needed to be. You know what I mean? Like it was funny, campy, action-packed. Had funny references for fans. Like when Owlbear showed up, I was like, "Oh shit, Owlbear!"
Man, like after seeing that movie, now I need to use Wild Shape more for my Druid character because seeing it happen like that on screen, I'm like, damn, I could have been doing that the whole time for like an hour.
Yeah,
damn.
You could. You could be an animal, dude. That's the whole point of a druid. They're supposed to like just shapeshift into.
Yeah.
So that's sweet. Yeah, I thought that was fun. I liked Chris Pratt. Excuse me.
You're
The
good.
other things I found a problem with were like the pacing and the story itself was kind of lackluster, but like it was cool. It was enough to keep me along, and there wasn't a lot of character development. Who was it? Was it fucking? It was Bradley Cooper was the halfling, right?
Yeah, he was. Oh, that was a nice
awesome.
surprise.
He had like a giantess like fetish. I was like, oh sweet, I dig this guy a lot, man. I can relate. That's rad. we stand short kings who want tall women.
Honestly, 100%. Yeah.
100%, dude. 100%. I think that'd be sweet, dude. It's like some Amazonian shit. That's rad, dude. Good for him.
I'm
We
just
respect.
thinking death by snoo stew. God damn it.
Yeah, for real. I bet he's got a fat hog. You know what I'm saying? A halfling. The giantesses. The fucking the barbarian, the women barbarians will like be going to like the bars. They'll be like, let me tell you something. Not all of them's a halfling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. It's like that funny tweet I saw. It's like I'm like 5'7". Fuck my life, and it's like the rest of those inches went somewhere else. It's like no, they did not. I'm sorry.
that's funny. But yeah, but that movie was fun. The movie was sweet. It was cool.
Also, the dodgy kind of CGI did add an element of cheese to it, which made the movie much more fun. Like I do enjoy movies with some cheese, but if it's like it really plays well into what it's going for, then it works.
Yeah, you could tell it's like the CGI was not nearly very good at all. It was pretty. It was close to like R.I.P.D. levels of like bad.
Yeah. Wait, you mean the original one or the sequel they put out on Netflix exclusively?
Yeah, why the fuck did they make a sequel? Who the fuck no, I'm talking about the original. The original was like asinine CGI, dude.
Yeah.
Also terrible movie, but I mean Jeff Bridges is funny if you're like stoned out of your mind. It's fun to see him play this like cowboy. Um, but yeah, man, Dungeons and Dragons was sweet. What other movies have we seen in the theater? Tomorrow I'm seeing the Mario Brothers movie. Despite critical reception, I'm sure it's going to be like stupid and fun and basic, but and I just can't wait to see Jack Black as Bowser.
See, the only problems I've heard from it, the only problems I've heard from that movie is that it's a simple story, and I'm like, yeah, it's a kids' film. Like, what did you expect? B, they don't have enough like platforming action sequences, and I'm like, okay, I can see having a problem with that because since platforming is the whole thing of Super Mario Brothers, if you have more creative action sequences like that, it would be much more satisfying to see on screen, you know?
No, totally, yeah.
Yeah. Also, did you just mute yourself to cough some more?
Yeah.
Smart. I'm gonna cut that out.
Is that better?
No. Jesus, take a throat, lozenge or whatever.
I don't think I have one. Actually, maybe I do. Yeah, let me go take one real quick.
Yeah. Just on pause. Hey, get back. There we go. You good? You good now, bro?
I think so. I got 2 lozenges. What we got about? Oh, the Super Mario movie.
Yeah. No, so once you see it, tell me what you think. Honestly, I want to hear your opinion on it.
No, for sure. Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be just fun. What other movies have I seen recently?
Have you seen John Wick Chapter 4?
Not yet. No.
Oh, it's fucking phenomenal. It's so good.
I was hearing from Dad about it. It's like got a lot of action to it, man.
Yeah, no, the action sequences were amazing. Like, if I were to rank like my favorite John Wick films, I'd probably say this one, top of list, John Wick Chapter 2, then 1, then 3. I'm sorry, 3 was not my favorite. No discredit to our queen, Halle Berry, but I think it was the weakest in the franchise, in my opinion.
No, that's fair. I was actually speaking of the third one, and this is no reflection on Halle Berry. She's wonderful in it.
Yeah.
And this is actually partly on Keanu Reeves too. It's just like the action scene where they're shooting with the dogs and stuff. It's really boring and repetitive.
Yeah, that is true. It's
like it goes, shoot some bad guys, shoot some more, and then dog comes in and does a finishing move to the next room, doing some more bang bang. Then the fucking dog comes in and finishes, etc., etc. It's very repetitive, man.
Exactly, and the plot never really went anywhere. Like, as simple as these plots to these movies are, like, at least they have, like, a serious, like, end game in each movie. Like, first one, it's like he kills, like, 80 people over a dog in his car.
He's just looking for one Russian guy's kid, who's killed his fucking dog.
Yeah, and then he just happens to have to finish off his father because his father's not going to take that sitting down, obviously.
Foe, bro, what the fuck?
I know, he killed his best bro, the fucking Green Goblin, bro. That's some fuck shit. Also, not a spoiler, by the way, because if anyone hasn't seen the first John Wick, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing with your life? Seriously.
Not caught up on John Wick already. What the fuck, bro? It's one of the best action franchises ever, dude.
Exactly. It was a fucking sleeper hit when it came out, and then they're like, well, fuck, now we can turn this into a franchise. Go out with Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 was phenomenal.
Yep.
It was my favorite John Wick for the longest time until this recent one came out, Chapter 4. Holy shit. The action, the characters. I want to see more of these characters, like, in a later installment, like a spin-off or something.
Are they doing a prequel series for Lawrence Fishburne's character?
I think they are, and then I've heard they're doing a spin-off on the original family that housed John Wick and trained him, called the Ballerina, and I think it might have Ana de Armas as the lead.
Oh, that's rad as fuck, dude. Hell yeah.
And after seeing her in that, James Bond, Daniel Craig finale, it's not a bad choice. That's fucking perfect.
No Time to Die, right? Is that what it is?
That's the one, yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
that surprised me. I was like, yo.
Choreography was insane. Like, it actually makes me want to see her more in action movies. Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish she was more in that movie. It was only like 5 or 10 minutes.
I know, but that's what we're going to get in the Ballerina if it takes off, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
But yeah, no,
I saw Blazing Saddles last night.
What did you think?
It was funny. It's a lot of outdated humor. It's very Spaceballs, but like with the N-word. The Big Lebowski just says, he just says the N-word. It's so funny. It's a very enjoyable movie. It's not for everybody. It's fun. It's fun. I don't think it's. I hate the argument of you couldn't make this today. It's like, yes, you could. People would just like criticize it. You know what I mean? As you should with any art, right? It's like there's some critique to this. I think, but this one makes a point though. I think there's it's kind of just like it plays on it and shows the ridiculousness of it. And it's like cartoonish. You know what I mean? It's that's what makes it funny. Like I enjoyed that. I also before that I saw Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke last night, which was like first time ever watching it. It was very funny, classic. There was a lot of good humor. And I was just like I was watching it and I was like, man, I'm just Cheech. I just say man a lot. I'm like, calm down, man. Like, be cool, man. And he's kind of like out of it half the time. It's very funny. It's very funny to watch those two on screen. It's a movie where nothing really happens. They just go to they just move from location to every single like little story within the story is them trying to go get a lick of drugs, right? That's like what they call getting a lick, and they're also just trying to evade the cops at the same time. So it's very repetitive, but it is very funny and creative. I like the humor, and it's written by both of them, right? So by
Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, right?
Yep. And so it's written by them, and I could tell it's written by two stoners because it's totally like a movie that like me and my friends would write. This is like hilarious. It ends with them doing like some big super dope punk rock show and like really just very fun movie, very camp. Definitely, there's this one scene. I shit you not. They like drive a van, so they get deported to Mexico because they don't have like ID or green cards or whatever, which is kind of funny. And then like while they're there, they're like, okay, we have to figure out a way out. Okay, my uncle has like, a van. We can take the van up, and like we just gotta like bring some stuff back, right? And so what they're smuggling is drugs, but the van itself is made of marijuana.
Oh my god.
It's like it's that's how they sneak it in. They like build it out of marijuana and then they paint it and stuff. It's ridiculous, right? You have to like kind of like suspend belief for a minute. It's a very campy movie, very stupid. But then it gets them into hijinks because when they're driving it, right, gas combusts, and so it's burning the fucking marijuana that the van is made of. And so like a cop pulls them over and he gets high off the smoke of the van, and when he goes up to their window, he's totally baked and is like. He forgets why he pulled them over and wants a fucking hot dog, and is just like running around. Yeah, it's like it's all this stupid shit, all these really just outdated weed jokes, which is really like it works. That's what made Pineapple Express great and other like Seth Rogen type of comedies. That's what made it was the original stoner comedy, but it's yeah, it's a very fun watch. It's definitely worth a watch. It's fun as hell. Um, yeah, it's kind of chaotic.
I believe it. That sounds amazing. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive that they were able to do that. They just wrote like this stupid ass narrative that was full of just like dumb jokes, and they're like getting girls and like being in a rock band and just smoking a bunch of drugs. Like that's what I would write about. That's what I would like make a movie about. You know, that's what two homies would do. It like I don't even know how old they were when they made that movie, but
Yeah.
that's gotta figure out. But they were very funny in it, man. There's this one scene, so like it's the first time they meet, right? Because I guess like so Cheech picks up Chong because Chong's hitchhiking, and so he picks him up, and then like he's like, oh, it's like you got a joint or something to smoke, and like Chong's like, oh yeah, I got one, like I'm saving it for a special occasion. And he just pulls out this cartoonishly like thick joint. It's like just like a whole. It's like a cigar. It's like three cigars packed into one, the size of like a joint. That's how big it is.
Jesus
Like cartoon
Christ.
giants. So they smoke it, right? So they get super high, and so like they're driving, and then like Cheech. This is one of my favorite jokes in the movie. He's like Cheech is like, it's like, am I driving okay? And then Chong's like, I think we're parked, man. It's like they're just so high, they're like they don't know where they're at, and the way they cut to a point where they're parked, like he somehow parallel parked into like a you know, one of those like curb things with like the grass and stuff,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
signage too. He like parked in between two signs somehow, like parallel parked, and thought he was driving still. I don't even know. It's funny. Anyway,
Oh my
great,
god.
good time. Excuse me. Yeah, it was a very fun movie. It's very stupid. Blazing Saddles also very fun. A lot of cartoonish racism, which like I think again is trying to make a point.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, the whole movie was like a parody on like the entire Western genre of like film. And the fact that it poked fun at it so well, there was no Westerns made for 20 years after the release of that film.
See, that changes the perspective, right? Because like I was
Yeah.
watching the movie, and like it is a western. It's a spoof of a western. Now that I realize it, because like Gene Wilder plays this like old like famous cowboy, the Waco Kid or whatever the fuck, right? Fastest hand in the world.
Exactly. And he's cartoonishly fast. He's just immediately like
You know,
just a
he like there's the scene where they're playing chess, and he's like try to grab that king, right? And the guy goes for it, but then he comes up empty-handed, and then Waco Kid just pulls out the fucking thing out of his holster.
yeah.
So like he didn't even move. It's that kind of like um, it's very funny. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, or like when he has to like draw his pistol against like three, bad guys, and you can tell it's just literally someone like did like lazy editing and just like did a fast clip. Suddenly the gun's in his hand, he fires.
Yeah, for real.
It was like
Yeah,
cartoonishly funny.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's a very campy, very funny movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it's very good. That's interesting. So it hit so hard because like that, I guess, was the tail end of the American Western, right? Because the American Western only lasted from like the era of westerns was from 1938 to the early 70s. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly, yeah. And then we didn't really see like another breed of western films until like around like the early to mid 90s, the most notable being Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven, which was made in
Hmm.
I think 1998, I want to say.
Oh, for sure.
And
It's like 20 years.
it was honestly around that point where you see like a whole new breed of westerns where it was the post-western. A lot of like westerns up until that point was classic American westerns, and
Very like
then post
very
Blazing
like
Saddles it was
here like good guys, bad guys.
exactly with original American westerns it was good guys versus bad guys. Bad guys get driven out of town or end up in the ground. Good guy gets the girl, town is saved.
Yep.
Post westerns usually deal with more of a depressing take on the cowboy.
Hmm.
Usually, it's a man out of time who longs for the old days because that's all he knows, but he can't fit himself in this new and ever changing world, which is usually post industrial revolution of conquering the West.
Yeah, right. When modern society reached out west and you couldn't be outlaws anymore and be like rootin' tootin' shooting cowboys no more. The modern world caught up.
Exactly. There's rules now.
There are rules now. Yeah, that's right.
There's rules and you gotta follow them, boy.
That's right. Yeah.
It would have been fine if they just called him boy instead of
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it wouldn't be great, but it'd be a little better.
It would be better.
Better. I thought it was hilarious. There's like it's a beginning scene where they introduce like the black guy who becomes the sheriff, um, and so like they that he's like this like railway worker, and they like have him go with this other black guy like have a push cart down the way. They get caught in quicksand. The white cowboys come over. They save the cart before they save them, or they don't even save them. The black guys have to crawl out themselves. I thought it was hilarious. They're just like, oh man, we almost lost a $400 fucking hand cart, and then meanwhile these guys are sinking in quicksand, dying. It's like it's funny. It's objectively funny. It's horrible, but it's funny. It's a caricature of the whole situation. It's very funny.
Fucking Mondo though, what a character.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He just likes candy, and his first character introduction, he just fucking walks into town, some guy makes a smart ass remark, he just punches a horse, knocks it down.
Yeah, he clocks a horse, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Good times, man.
God, he cold cocked a horse like it overcooked his dinner or something.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Sharon, I see the dishes aren't clean, like 50's Housewife style, you know what I'm saying? Just like ragdoll that shit.
Just go full fucking southpaw on that shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What other movies have I watched recently? Did we talk about 16 Candles? Because I gotta talk about it.
Oh, you watched 16 Candles?
I did, yeah. So like I didn't know really anything about the plot. I knew it was about a teenage girl, right? It's about like a sweet 16, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, isn't that like I'm gonna Google this later, so or maybe someone in the comment sections can go into it. Isn't it like a sweet 16 supposed to celebrate when she would become legal or something? I don't know. Like I feel like that's what it would be about, right? Because like 16 was the age of consent for a while.
I think it was. I would not be surprised if that is the case.
Probably. I'm gonna actually Google this while I talk about it. But so the movie. So I didn't know what to expect, but like it follows, Molly Ringwald, right? And she plays this teenager. It's her 16th birthday. Her family completely forgets. Probably first, mainly celebrating in some parts. Okay. So anyway, so like she turns 16, and it's supposed to be like a big deal for her, right, or whatever. But no one remembers. She has a shitty day. She gets into these antics. There's a lot of like. There's some weird outdated shit. So like I'll start with like. They have like this foreign exchange student kid staying with them. God, what's his stupid name? It's like Long Duck Dong or something. Yeah,
I can already see some problems with that.
and then that's not even the worst of it. They call him Chinaman throughout the movie, which I mean of the slurs, I guess is the least offensive, but like it's still pretty horrible. Like it was cartoonishly bad. Like towards the end of the movie. So there's like a big house party that like this popular guy at school that like that Molly Ringwald has a crush on.
Yeah.
Wants to go out with him. He has a big house party. Shit goes awry, and the Chinese kid. I'm not gonna say the name again.
He's call him Duck.
Yep, Duck. Yeah, so he's like passed out. On the front lawn. It's one of these fucking old white men. One of the grandparents or whatever staying with them, right? He's just like, oh, he's like something Ron or whatever. He's like, oh, Ron, your Chinaman's on the floor. You know what I mean? Like it's like your Chinaman. It's just like that's such a horrible phrase to say. And then don't even get me started. Every time they introduce his character on screen or say like his name or something, they play a gong sound effect. I shit you not. Almost every time. It's like really horrible. So there's blatant just like racism and stereotyping, but it was the '80s, man. It was a different time, you know.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you're Chinaman. It's like, what? Fuck. Next, you're gonna say he should be working on the next railroad, right?
yeah, for real. It's one stone throw away from that shit. It's
Yeah.
it's not the preferred nomenclature, dude. But and then there's like potential rape. I think it is just like straight up as yeah, it's just straight up. It's a weird situation. So it's like there's this high school. So they're all high schoolers, right? And so like this one kid who's trying to get at Molly Ringwald, but is really bad at it. He tries to play off as a player, but he's a huge like loser. He's one of the kids from Breakfast Club, actually. So I recognized him. I was like, oh shit. So is Molly Ringwald. She was also in it. Um,
But honestly, Breakfast Club is an infinitely better movie. Let's be real here.
I think so. It's got a lot less stereotypes. I mean, they say like faggot in there or something, but like
It's got a lot more
anyway,
things to say, though.
it does. It's actually like it's got a lot more to say. Yeah, 16 Candles is just kind of like things. A lot of things just happen. Anyway, so this kid, he's hanging out with this one guy's shitty girlfriend while she's drunk and he's drunk, and then they like I guess hook up, but neither of them remember it really at all. Which like they both kind of like because they weren't conscious or anything, or like they were under the influence severely. They weren't really able to give consent, so it's kind of like this is like kind of like not good. It's not bueno. Um, but I don't know, man. But it was the '80s, different time, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like it was okay, I guess then. Um,
Plus, honestly, no one ever really remembers the deeper plot behind that movie except that famous scene where like Molly Ringwald and the guy she's crushing on like are sitting crisscross applesauce from each other, and there's a cake in the middle, and then like the candles and everything. That's the only scene anyone ever remembers from that movie, anyways.
that's kind of like the most pertinent, yeah. And then I mean, so yeah. But I mean, it was enjoyable. It was kind of funny too, because again, I didn't really know what to expect. So it was just like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, they cut to just full naked chest. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, there's tits on the screen, and then and then they cut from that, it's funny when they cut to the boobs, they play a boing sound, and then they cut the full frontal nudity of this like what's supposed to be a teenager in the shower, which is like, oh, that feels a little weird.
Yeah, that is true.
The movie is real iffy for sure.
No, that's why I think like the superior like '80s teen movie, in my opinion, is like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That was perfect in every way.
It was actually really good at capturing like a lot of like. It was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like very comedic, but no, it was actually there were like some heavy. Like a girl has an abortion in that one. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I think that's important things to have in like a movie like that, because that is some real shit they like go through. Like,
No, for sure.
yeah,
It's like it's your body, your choice. I'm obviously okay with people doing that, but it's just hard for the to make. It's a hard choice to make. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
but I did yeah. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a surprisingly deep movie, which was cool. Again, that's another one I didn't really know what to expect. I always saw it as like it's a comedy, and like Sean Penn plays this like complete stoner, and so he's like having a good time and stuff.
instead of
Which I
doing
loved
charity
him in
work, instead of doing charity work in Africa just to fuck Charlize Theron.
I mean, can you blame him?
That's
Yeah,
true. I
he
mean,
was.
if that's a great move to play on her, then shit, it works.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
Oh my god.
Jennifer, what's her name? Jennifer Leigh something.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, I think.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Jason Leigh, thank you. She's in that movie. Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
yep. I was like, shit, what's up? Um, but yeah, no. And then, so yeah, 16 Candles was fine. Breakfast Club is definitely another good superior 80s movie. Ferris Bueller, dude. Goated. For sure.
He is the king. He is the goat.
Matthew Broderick, bro.
Yeah.
Goat. Yeah, no. What other movies have I seen recently? I don't know, man. I've been watching. Actually, I could check
Oh,
my
you have them written
list
down.
with my lady because we have a list of movies we need to watch together. Um, I watched The Commitments recently again. That's right. That was a good movie. And then I also showed her The Boat That Rocked, which was a sweet movie. And then
Oh, what did she think of it?
she liked it a lot, man. She liked it a lot. It was good. And then we saw we saw Hot Fuzz, which she liked the second half of it. Not really was she wasn't really down for the first, but like she also claims I sold it bad, but like I mean maybe I did. I don't know. Anyway,
I mean, it is a strange concept for a film.
well yeah, so it's I originally sold it to her as like it's a buddy, it's a cop movie that makes it's a movie that makes fun of action cop movies, but then becomes an action cop movie, and that was partly true. But it's mostly a buddy cop movie that becomes an action cop movie. So like I probably should have sold it that way. But anyhow, and then I think next Sunday we're supposed to go see The Big Lebowski. Because
Hell
that's
yeah.
theaters for like a special showing. Um, and actually, speaking of, that was really funny. So like this last weekend, this weekend's been kind of busy for me. So like Thursday, um, Thursday, we we went out to Broncos as we do, usual spot, and then Friday they had a show there, so we hung out there. And then Friday was funny because like we were leaving the bar, and there was this guy. I was wearing my dude cardigan, right?
Yeah.
There's this guy leaving the bar, and he was like drunk as shit. So he comes stumbling to me, and he's like, "You look like the Big Lebowski." And I was like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Cool." I'm glad that like in his shit faced state, I could be a pillar of stability. Like a beacon in the night. He's like, "Hey, that's the Big Lebowski." Um, but that was certainly a highlight.
No, dude, in his
Um,
moment of needing to find God, you were his God. You were the dude.
was man, I was the dude. He was like, "Wait a minute, that's the dude."
That's the
That was
dude.
fun.
In the
And then
holy temple of dudism.
the Latter Day Saints of what is it called? I don't remember.
The
Um,
Latter-day Saints of dudism.
you froze there for a second for me. What was that?
Same. You froze for me for a second there, too. The Latter-day
Oh,
Saints
cool.
of the Latter-day Saints of dudism, bruh.
I thought it was the Latter Day Dude or something. I can't remember, but
And whatever. I only know the Latter-day Saints because of that fucking show, Under the Banner of Heaven.
nice. So then Saturday was cool because I went to this like this psychedelic indie rock festival in like Golden Gate Park.
Oh, is that the one you were posting on Instagram, right? Where,
It was like 5 different bands were playing. It was sweet. There was
yeah.
the openers were it was For Your Pleasure, and then it was For Your Pleasure, and it was uh and then followed by them was Grublin. That was the band I knew that was going. Like I didn't know any of the other bands. And then this band called Pena played, and they're like this like Latin funk mix, which is really cool. And then like they have like some songs in Spanish, which was dope. I listened to one of their albums, that was sweet. Um, and then after them was Mild Universe, which was like this really cool psychedelic funk band. Um, very dope. And then last but not least was Analog Dog. Analog Dog was sick. So they were playing, and that was sweet. And they played September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Is that the one?
That's the one. That's the one. Also, are you sure you're not dying of, like, tuberculosis? What is going on here?
I think I'm okay, man. I think I should be cool. I've had this cough. It developed like partly yesterday. Yeah, partly because like it's I think it's allergy induced. I don't even know. But yeah, I have like a stuffy nose. I had a stuffy nose. It's a little better now. And I have this cough. I don't know, man. It's annoying. I'm not happy about it. Trust me. But um, what happened? Oh yeah, and then so after that show, so we left Golden Gate Park, and we drove over to Oakland to go to another show. It was a punk metal show this time, so we saw like this band. Rap Bastard Radio was the one I knew. I also knew Jellyfish Method, and then I saw Rail Rage and Smilet Violet was the other one, and they were pretty cool bands. I wasn't. Rail Rage was a bit much for me, but every other band was cool. They were sick, and then yeah, that was my weekend. It was kind of like a lot of shows.
Nice.
12 bands total, Friday and Saturday.
Holy shit, you are a man on a mission, bro.
I saw 12 bands. 4 of which I've seen before.
I have still not listened to your recommendation of Plum Tree, but I will at some point, once I get the time.
It's a really cool pop punk album, man. It's really easy to listen to, very cool, very fun album. And it sucks, because like that band, it was these 4 girls, they were in their teens together, and they started that band. And then they made like 3 albums, and they broke up.
I mean, it's kind of a similar story with Wolfmother. Like, they did like 3 major albums and then just kind of dipped.
I guess so, right? Didn't they have a recent album?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was like a few... Oh god, I think it was like in 2016, so that's what? Oh god, 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, I guess 26... Yeah, they only have... Well, they have 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, they released one actually 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, so I guess they're back on the scene. Fuck. Like, don't know why they like disappeared for a while.
Right. It's a pretty shitty album cover, dude.
Oh, really?
It's like... Yeah, here, I'll share it with you. It's a really shitty album cover.
Yeah, please, dude. I gotta see this. I'm gonna describe it the best way I can for the viewers, because they need to see this. Through my voice. Through my vocal methods. Oh, God, that is shit.
It's a pretty shit design, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like their other album covers. Their self-titled album, dope as fuck.
Yeah, their self-titled is like dope as fuck, man. Like it's got titties and everything. But this one, like, it looks like one of those like stereotypical like 80s synthwave like fucking memes where it says something like skate fast, eat ass, but in this style.
Yeah.
Or like I can't take it anymore in this style.
Bet.
That's
how it be, dude.
Oh my god. Alright. Oh god, what else has been going on? Just for me, like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to a game tomorrow, so that's gonna be nice.
Cool. I have a game this Saturday. Our boy is back in town. We have to like try and plot November.
Exactly. I need to see if I can ask if I can get for like a week or maybe 2 weeks off, so I can go do a trip in the UK and like Thanksgiving. So yeah.
We'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
It should be good.
Yeah. No, fucking what is it? So we're playing a campaign right now that's like, it's kind of like a joke campaign, just to like have some like fun and whatnot with some like creative characters we have. Nothing serious.
For sure.
I play a sociopathic necromancer.
Why sociopathic?
Because you need an element of sociopathy to actually like play around with dead bodies, essentially, bro. Like that's.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so it's fun, and then we also got like another player in the group who's like a lion man with a with an Australian accent.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I love it. Oh, and then we got this air genasi who I kid you not, his name is Shatid Fucky.
That's fucking stupid, but sure.
Yeah, no, it's fucking hilarious. It's a great group that we got going on right now. But yeah, no, it's fun getting back into D&D. It like allows me to get more like creative now, but now I seriously need to figure out what I want to do with my main character, Emrys, and his story arc. I don't know. I don't know where I want him to go, but I think I have some ideas. So, yeah. What about you? How's your game going?
It's good. I play a barbarian, a half orc,
Nice. What's her name?
named Joby.
Joby.
Yeah, I don't know how that came about. I called him Joe, and then like we just started adding the B for some reason. Now he's just Joby,
Joby.
and that's been fun. It's always fun playing with those guys. um,
It would be funny if you multi-class into Bard. Just imagine like an absolutely jacked fucking half orc just trying to play like hot cross buns on a lute.
yeah, no, that'd be funny. I imagine he'd like be like a cello player, so he'd carry around the big bass and just be hunched over it, just fucking slapping that thing. That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet. Actually, funny enough, the Dragonborn bard / sorcerer that I shared with you, I made it into his character that because he's a bard, he plays a viol, which is basically a Dungeons and Dragons violin.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And I guarantee you, as soon as I bring this up with my friends in my D&D group, if I ever play this character, they're gonna be like, okay, at some point down the line, you're gonna have to like make a deal with someone, and you might get like a golden violin out of it if you win.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because it'd be the king of all references, just perfect.
That'd be fun, man. I mean, like I know, like for during Christmas, we'll fight Santa or whatever in like an arena, which is funny.
Oh, that is pretty funny.
Just incorporate that, yeah. Yeah, God, we usually try to play every month. You guys play every week?
We try to anyways, yeah, we try to play every week.
It's hard to do it, man. Everyone's got such different schedules. We have to like plot ours like weeks in advance. So like ours is gonna be like sometime next month. Which actually I'll have to double check those dates when when I go, but when I go this Saturday. But I'll figure it out.
No, it's pretty good. It's just one of my friends has like car trouble, so I'm like, usually the one that picks him up, which I'm fine with, honestly. Like I'm always led to believe that like someone should have like a safe ride to and from a place, whenever if possible. So, but
sure.
Another friend in our group might have car trouble, so I'm like, shit, this is gonna be interesting. So yeah.
So they're both struggling with car troubles at the same time?
Yeah, roughly the same time. Yeah.
So how far are they?
One lives about, God, if I had to do the math, about 53 minutes away total.
So what?
Yeah, I know, right? Small town California, bro. It's hard living this far down south from the Bay.
It's far out, man. Jesus.
Yeah, and then another one, I don't even know where he lives. I just know that he works in Slow. I don't know if he lives in Slow, so yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, that's fun stuff. But, honestly, I'm just hoping for better weather this time because for some reason, like the past 7 times we visited for D&D, it's always been on a Tuesday. It's always been shit weather in town.
Every Tuesday has been shit weather for the past 3 weeks, but now it's finally warm. Yesterday I didn't have to wear a jacket.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the first time in months I turned on my AC, actually.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, it got hot in here. I mean, it's hot in here right now a little bit, so I got the window open. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. God, yeah, I don't know what it is, man. It's shit. It sucks.
Yep. Every Tuesday was crazy because I had to drive out to a client. I have to do that tomorrow. Go do a home visit, check in with him. Yeah, that shit was ass. And he lived in Campbell, so driving from El Viso to Campbell is lame, dude. Especially in the rain, it's half an hour.
Yeah, that does sound like it would suck. Shit.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you say on that note? We wrap it up.
I think that sounds great.
I think it's good to clock out.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. This is 9 to 5, boys, and we are clocking out, baby.